Good evening, all, and welcome to February 23rd, Grosse Ile Township Board of Trustees business meeting. We'll start with the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Any additions or deletions to tonight's agenda? With none, I'm going to need approval to,
Motion to approve.
oh, okay, yeah, as presented. I just wanted to throw that in, as presented. We got a second? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All approval of the agenda as presented. There's no
okay.
changes.
Okay. Aye.
You're good? Aye, all right. We don't have presentations. Do we have anybody, public comment, 3 minutes? You know the deal. If you want, come on up. Anybody? Come on up, Kathy. Come on up.
Well, Kathy Walker, 26051 Thorpe Court. All I want to say is I know we're getting ready for the budget, and that's a very important thing to do. But I want everybody to consider.
Oh, your mic, could you push the button, please? I'm sorry.
There. Okay. You're getting ready for the budget season, which is very important. And all I want to just suggest is when you are considering expenses, think about the people on the island. I know everybody says, well, it's just a little bit more, but people might get to the point where that little bit more might scare them away. And with the bridge being going to be closed in a while, there's a lot of things piling up. And just try to, I guess they always say, live beneath your means, if you can do it. And it hurts and it's painful, but try. Because I think we're getting to the point where all I hear from people, taxes are too high, and I've never really heard that much before. But, you know, almost everywhere I go, somebody will say, it's just getting so expensive. So we don't want to price ourselves out of the market. And I know it's hard. I've done budgets. But just something to consider. Okay.
Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you.
All right, anybody else from the public? Bob, you have something? No? I thought you were signaling. Okay, that's it for public comment then. Brian, do you have anything? We'll go first.
No, I do not.
Oh, nothing there? All right. Okay, I'll do the consent agenda. Jameson and Kevin are excused for tonight, so I'll do the treasurer's consent agenda. Motion to approve consent agenda 25105. That'd be the minutes of February 9th regular meeting, minutes of February 9th closed session, minutes of January 28th special meeting, minutes of January 28th closed session, and check register and invoice register dated through February 20th, 26.
So moved.
Okay, are there any questions on anything from the consent agenda? With none. Approval of the consent agenda 25105. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carried. Thank you. All right. Never heard that one go that fast, have you? All right. Action items. The first one, Margaret, Grosse Ile Police Department replacement vehicle.
We'd like to recommend approval to purchase a replacement vehicle for the GIPD police chief.
Second.
So in November of 2025, GIPD 160 assigned to the chief of police was involved in a vehicle deer accident. As a result of the damage sustained, the vehicle was declared a total loss in December of 25. GIPD is seeking Township Board approval to purchase a used 2022 Ford Explorer in the amount of $34,618. This vehicle will be purchased in part by $16,425 received from the insurance settlement for the totaled vehicle, with the remaining $18,193 to be paid using DOJ forfeiture funds. Are there any questions?
I just have a quick question. But as far as the vehicle being used, I understand are they trying to be frugal?
Yes,
Or is
so,
Is there a particular reason why they got a 2022 Ford Explorer?
so they were doing their best to, keep the budget as constrained as possible. Our forfeiture funds are very tight right now, and, their goal was to minimize cost as much as possible.
I understand. Do you know how they come up with that value? I'm just curious. For the used car.
So they use my deals for this.
Okay.
So there were several estimates, and my deals actually is you supposedly get. I shouldn't say supposedly. I say that because I'm not as familiar with it as somebody who's actually utilized it. But my deals is there, so you're getting the best deal available to you as a government entity, is my understanding.
Okay. All right, thank you. Any questions on GIPD replacement vehicle?
Just one.
Yes?
Is it normal for it to come from general, from forfeitures instead of general revenue?
We do our best for most of our bigger capital items where we can. So for instance, that's a very good question, but our Axon cameras, our tasers, our laptops, things that, and vehicles in general, we've tried to use forfeiture funds for that. That alleviates any leveraging of the general fund in general. So we try to do that where possible. Our biggest concern is we are starting to, everybody thinks, oh, it looks like a lot of money in that, forfeiture fund, and it goes very quickly. So that's a very good point.
That was
And-
my concern.
Yeah, it is. It's a concern for us as well, but we've always done this so that we don't put a big hit on the general fund. And Mark, I wanted to mention too that there's extended warranty too on this vehicle, so in case anybody had any concerns.
Yeah, very good, very good. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Okay.
One added comment, if I might briefly, if I heard properly when we were having a brief discussion about this issue, that vehicle only has 35,000 miles on it, am I correct?
I believe, I'm double checking that, Bill. I know it was lower on miles. And keep in mind too, this is gonna be, Chief Brozik's vehicle. And yes, he obviously does use that for runs. Admin staff does go on runs still, but it's not as used as, frequently or as many miles are put on it as an actual squad car.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anything else on the PD replacement vehicle? With nothing, all in favor, say aye for replacement, action item number 1.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carried. Okay, I'll do number 2 then. Let me pull that up real fast here. Groseal Township hereby approves Miller Canfield, Paddock Stone, PLC, and Counsel for issuance of the Groseal Township's 2026 Unlimited Tax General Obligation Bonds Bridge Project based upon the terms and conditions listed in the attached engagement letter. Need a second.
Second?
Miller Canfield has been Township's legal counsel for issue some bonds for at least the last 20 years. They are known throughout the industry to be competent provider of legal services for municipal bond issuance. The Township anticipates issuing the next round of bridge bonds in July and August of 26 once bridge construction bids have been received. And if anybody wants to see that, or if you have already, the attachment letter is highlighted there at the bottom. Any questions or concerns with this? Okay, with none? Action item number 2, approval bond counsel. Miller Canfield, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carried, thank you. All right. No discussion items tonight. Jameson is excused, there'll be no clerk's report. And Mark, did you have the treasurer's report? Would you like to read that?
Yeah, he sent me a copy. as well.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Could you do that for us, please, now?
Sure. So from the treasurer's desk, Groseal winter property taxes were due February 17th. A 3% penalty was added to any unpaid winter amounts, which are still payable here at the township until Saturday, February 28th, 2026. After that date, all unpaid summer and winter taxes are considered delinquent and must be paid to the Wayne County with further penalty and interest. Please remember that we cannot accept post-dated checks at Township Hall. The county online payment link is www.waynecounty, all one word, lowercase, .com/PTA. We'll have the current 2025 delinquent tax information posted later for this week. Payments can be made to Wayne County at the web address I just mentioned, or you can send it by mail, or you can use the county kiosk located at the Sunoco Brownstown, located at 21980 Silby Road. To date, we have collected 95.7% of all the 2025 winter tax rolls. Distributions to the school and county have been made timely. And for a notification about the pet licenses for 2026 are still available at the treasurer's office. The pet tag license fee is now $12 for the reminder of 2026. Be sure to provide proof of current rabies certificates or vaccinations for your pet when applying for a pet license. And I guess in the words of Bob Barker, remember to have your pets spayed or neutered. And that is all for the treasurer's report.
All right. Mark, are you ready to give your trustees report? If you
I can, and then
Could you do that now?
Sure.
Okay.
Let me get my, So we do have a zoning board meeting tomorrow. There was 2 appeals on that agenda. One has been removed. So the agenda item for 26277 East River Road, that property has been removed from the agenda at the appellant's request. And speaking with the building department, the residents will be able to apply for a one-time, 1-year extension for any expired building permits. There will be a $100 fee. Once that expires, the year extension, they will need to reapply for that permit. They've started sending out letters regarding expired permits. Some will just require an inspection and will be closed out. But throughout the year, we expect to, or the building department expects to see a light increase in revenue from the extension. And that is all I have, Mr. Supervisor.
All right, sir, thank you. What we're gonna do, go back up to the top. Mickey, you are set.
Okay. For open space, their next meeting is March 11th. We've been meeting, talking about the encroachments, what we're gonna do. Hey, Derek, I'll probably get with you to ask about throwing down some wild bird seed on some of those encroachments to get it growing, but we can talk about that later. Then, of course, we're also talking about a small millage because we're just running out of funds to keep the trails open, and basically those funds mostly go for cutting down trees and things that fall across the paths or putting gravel down, that kind of thing. We'll talk more about that in the future. For the fire department, their next meeting is March 12th. I have to say, I don't say enough about our fire department. I called them today and I talked with Dawn about something, and just out of the blue, I asked her because she just seemed a little anxious, and she told me a call they had went on, all the treatment, she didn't get into the details with me, but you could tell it was one of those calls that leaves you a little shook up, but thankfully, the person's okay. So I just want to give a shout out to the fire department for all that they do for the community, and I'm sure that person's family is especially appreciative. For the Groseal Nature and Land Conservancy, I'm so mad I don't have it with me. I'll give you that next time, but they just got a large donation of property down by Meridian and the Paybridge on the left-hand side near where they have their other property, so that's kind of exciting that they, received that. And I'll get the name. I thought it was Mr. Stevenson, but I'll get the name. And then just their upcoming events. I had people ask me about them recently. An upcoming one is March 10th, Bluebirds and Cavity Nesting Birds from 6 to 7:30. And then March 22nd is Signs of Springtime from 1 to 2:30. And these are at the Resource Center right there on Macomb. And that's it for me.
All right, thank you very much, Mickey. Margaret?
Excuse me. So I don't have too much for tonight, but I do, so every month when we put out the newsletter, we highlight some local businesses, local small businesses. And I just want to remind everyone that, you know, we do have these local small businesses. It's really important to frequent them when you can, especially during these colder months. I think business goes down. And, you know, in order to keep everybody's business strong and moving, we just as a community, I think, need to keep in mind and please consider shopping and dining local when you can. And I think that's pretty much it for me.
You all set?
Yep. I know, it's shocking, isn't it?
That's all right.
Oh, really quick, Bill,
You were all set.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Really quick, the mileage on the used vehicle is 26K.
Oh, excellent.
Yep.
That's really good.
That's a new vehicle. Okay, William, you're up.
I have two committees that I commissions, Airport Commerce Park and the Planning Commission. Airport Commerce Park has continued to progress on their budget. The progress, I think, is promising. It's being refined. Janelle does a wonderful job with that, and I can't stop saying enough praise for that woman. The Planning Commission has nothing that I can report on at this point. Thank you.
All right, you're set, William?
Yes.
All right. Township Manager Derek Thiel, you are up.
Good evening, Mr. Supervisor, members of the board. Just a couple of quick items for this evening. Margie wanted to remind the residents about March border review. There are 2 dates that are available for border review appointments. Those are Monday on March 9th from 9 to 5 and Tuesday, March 10th in the evening from 5 till 9. You must set an appointment if you're planning on coming in for border review. You can set that appointment by calling the assessor's office at 734-676-4422, extension 210. They will not accept walk-ins. You have to have an appointment. And just to let the residents know, border review is what you do when you want to argue your assessment that you all have recently received. Keep in mind, you have to provide evidence as to why the assessment is incorrect. So you can't simply have the opinion that it is. You have to show information that the township erred in the assessment. And it's a board of actually residents that will review your evidence and make a determination as to whether an adjustment is warranted. So once again, those dates are March 9th and March 10th. The March 9th date is during the day, 9 to 5, and the March 10th date, which is Tuesday, is in the evening from 5 until 9. Any questions about that?
I have a comment when you're done. I've got some questions in my office. I just want to make it clear if anybody's listening about how they come up with that, so.
Okay. Been getting a number of phone calls from residents regarding a cross-connection survey. There were 2 rounds of surveys that went out, all to the same addresses, over the past 6 months. The phone calls we've been getting are in regards to survey letters that have gone to individuals that have already submitted responses to that survey via the original request. If you do receive a second notice and you have filled out already the survey, you do not need to do it again, and you can disregard that notice. The township contracts with a company that sends those notices out, and it's apparent that the company did not check the response list against the second round of letters going out. Now, the township will not be paying for that mistake. They will have to bear that cost of sending that notice out to those that had already responded to the survey, but feel free to disregard that notice if you've already submitted your survey answers. And just to update the board, Teresa and myself had a meeting about a week or so ago with Raymond Group regarding the salary and compensation study. The group is making good progress. They were finalizing the comparable communities. They had finalized all of the job titles and descriptions, and the next step will be to send out a survey to the employees with regards to their job duties and responsibilities to ensure that they're accurate and that what they're comparing to other type jobs in other communities are very similar. So that's where that stands. Our suspicion is probably at least a couple of months before that is complete, but they are making steady and regular progress. So with that, that concludes my report for this evening, unless there are any questions.
If I may add one part of your report.
Sure.
And then I'll continue with mine. I want to make sure I'm correct, so please correct me if I'm wrong. I got a couple of calls and some questions on the assessments. And if you recall, back when our inflation was like 8.5, I think, or 8 point, and it could go no higher than 5.
That is correct.
So do I have the correct number? I saw it was 2.7 that we were getting in this year, and that's what the assessments went up at 2.7. Or there's a possibility, this was another question, there's a possibility maybe you had something done to your residence, maybe an addition, or maybe something else that would make it more than 2.7, correct? Is
Yeah,
that-
or you're a new resident and you just bought a new home and this is the first year it got uncapped.
And it was
We're-
uncapped because of the amount you paid for it. The 1 year after it gets uncapped, and then it can go up more than 2.7, right?
Just on the first year that of purchase, yes.
Right.
You'll get
So
an
I want to
equal-
make sure I explain that correctly. There were some questions on there, but this year's was 2.7.
Yep, and for those that might be considering Board of Review, when you look at your assessed value on your tax bill, your assessed value is supposed to be 50% of the retail value of your home. So if the assessed value is, for example, $250,000, we're saying that the retail value is $500,000. If you don't think that you could sell your home for basically double what that assessed value is, then you would come into Board of Review and argue that point. But if you look at the market and your home is worth that, then that would be the challenge to make that argument, because that's the way that math works.
And that is why some of the taxable value on your paperwork or your taxes is less than your assessed value.
Because of the cap on the increase. So your assessed will go up at the retail value or half of the retail value, while your taxable is subdued because it's limited.
And this year, the taxable can only go up 2.7. So I just want them to, if there was any more questions out there, I mean, most have gotten this every year, but I still did get a couple calls recently in the office, so.
And the title would indicate your taxes are based upon your taxable, not your assessed value.
Yes,
Yep.
correct.
Before we go on further to other topics, I believe this is the area of conversation where you have to have your ducks in a row, and maybe just an opinion is not sufficient. You need to be prepared with a basis for what your remarks will be.
That's a great summary, yes, absolutely.
I think
That's
it's
very on
important
point,
to
yep.
just add that emphasis again as a
Yep.
reminder.
So another thing to keep in mind too, the January newsletter, which stays on the township website, has a really good article that I had asked, and Margie had submitted it, Margie Gape, who's an assistant assessor in the township. So she provided an overview of how are my taxes determined. It's really, I think it's a really good overview. It's good for anybody that, has questions or doesn't really fully understand. What Derek just explained is really spot on, obviously. But it's something you can reread in the article that Margie goes through, and she talks about uncapping, how are my taxes going up. She shows the inflation rates for, past years. So you really get a good idea of how your taxes are calculated and next steps. I thought it was a really good article. So it's the January newsletter.
Okay, thank you. Also, I'm sorry, maybe I didn't mention, but the 2.7% for inflation is always set by the state, not Groseville Township or not Southeast Michigan. It's the state of Michigan throughout, correct?
Through the county, yes.
I
Yep.
mean, through us.
Yes, yep, so we
Okay.
don't make that determination.
Right.
Yep.
All right, very good. I think,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
She had a question for you, Derek.
You were talked about the benchmarking, the timing of that. So we're kind of in the position where there might be a couple people that we recommend get over and above the normal 2.5. So I'm wondering if everybody should just get 2.5 on April 1st and then get a bump later if that benchmarking report if we come back and justify it, or are we putting in for a raise effective April 1st? So something just to think about and maybe discuss, even if it's at a future meeting, but so we know how to handle that. And then at our budget meetings that are going on now, we can just include extra in there. So whether we ask for it April 1st or later, we can just kind of,
They've been putting it in their budgets.
okay.
Yeah,
And
so,
I'll talk about that when we,
so the budget, yeah, you can put whatever you want in there, but just because it's in the budget doesn't mean it's authorized. There would be additional actions that would have to happen amongst the board members in order to pass
It's more
those.
process and timing, right? When
Right.
when we make requests, when we budget and that,
Yep.
so, okay. Thanks, Joe.
you're welcome. Are you good, Derek?
I am all set.
Okay, a couple things I wanted to go over in the supervisor's report. The first one is, we'll be working all week with the managers of Grosse Ile Township, Derek, myself, and Teresa, and a liaison from whatever department they're from. We've been going over the budgets. We'll do that all week. And I want to give you some important dates. On March 4th, there's going to be a study session for the budget. And during a study session, that's not where the dialogue is. On 3/9, there'll be the public hearing where you can come up, you can talk, you can ask. There'll be a certain amount of time given to the audience if they wish to make a comment or anything like that about the budget. So that's, once again, 3/4 will be the study session from the Township Board. And 3/9, I'm sorry, Brian, is there a start time on the study session if that's not a regular?
I believe it was 6 o'clock.
Okay, let's call it 6, and I'll get that. I'm sorry I didn't look that up. And on 3/9, there'll be a public hearing, but that's a regular meeting, so that's still a 7 p.m.
That's still at 7 o'clock, yeah.
Yeah, that's a 7 p.m. meeting. Okay. All right, very good. I wanted to get that out to the public on those two dates and what we've been doing this week, and it's been. I mean, it's tedious. It's tedious work. It's, so, yes, I know you had something.
I'll let you finish first.
No, I'm done.
I don't want to be rude.
No, you go ahead. I knew you were ready to go, so go ahead.
I know, I gave you that look, right?
Yeah.
I give my husband that same look. Hey, I found, and I just wanted to tell you, because it was so important that, so it's Leo Stevenson. He's a Grosse Ile resident. He owns Latitudes, and he's a director at Wyandotte Merrill Lynch. Gave such a generous donation that the Grosse Ile Nature and Land Conservancy was able to buy a wildlife habitat along Detroit River, so it's now permanently protected. It's 18.8 acres. It's on Meridian Road between Bridge Road and Owen Street, including 7.9 acres of upland forest and 10.9 offshore, and offshore is just as important to protect it for the wildlife. So it extends into the Detroit River. It's just huge, and I think it might be one if not the largest purchase that they've made. So
Is there a price? Was there an amount on there they purchased?
no, he was probably being discreet, although maybe not wanting to say how much he actually donated, but that's a huge donation to buy that. So, and it just protects it for our kids and our grandkids. So I just really wanted to thank him, and it's a great piece of property. So.
All right, very
So
good.
thank you.
Okay, I have nothing else for my report. We still have another public comment. Does anybody? Mr. Bob, come on up.
Bob Z. Blauvelt. Just one quick question. You've got your date set for the 4th, and you got your date set for the 9th for the public.
Public hearing night,
Yeah.
correct.
Any idea when the budget books for the public will be coming out?
Do you know when Teresa will have those done?
I don't. I know one of the advantages of the ClearGov software was that budget information was gonna be available online through that program. You're talking about the budget books that are finalized after the budget has been adopted, the ones you
No,
can physically pick up?
No, the ones
No.
that always came out prior to.
Yeah, I did have a brief discussion with Teresa regarding that. I would tentatively guess, I didn't get it firmly, that study session's on the 4th. I would guess the 5th they would be available, so you could look them over for the whole weekend, and then that public hearing on the 9th, you would have at least an idea enough that you've gone through it.
Okay, thank you, Brian.
All right, thank you, Bob. All right, anything, anything else from the board? Nothing? With that, I need a motion to adjourn then.
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, meeting closed, 7:30. Thank you all.